Rise, man.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, here to provide you with your daily dose of The Mandalorian Season 2 news and to inform you about everything going on in a galaxy far, far away. We have got some really big news today, guys, including an update about Bo-Katan and when we can expect to see her in this season of Mando, and also some really big information about Greef Karga's character in Season 2. Before I get into the news, please may I ask you to hit like down below, to subscribe to my channel if you're brand new, and welcome if you are, and also make sure you hit the notification bell to be alerted each time I post new content on my channel. You can expect daily Star Wars videos from me. Now, as I always tell you, without too much jibber jabber, let's get into the news. So we are going to be talking about Bo-Katan very shortly, but first let's talk about this Greef Karga news. So this states, Carl Weathers teases a Greef Karga plot twist in The Mandalorian Season 2. While fans won't learn much about Greef Karga's backstory in this season, there will be hints about his ulterior motives in the show. So this article states, as a recap, the Mandalorian Season 1 finale left Greef and Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, in Navarro as Din Djarin and Baby Yoda go on their mission to find the Jedi. Since then, they haven't been spotted, with Chapter 9 The Marshal primarily taking place on Tatooine. But marketing for the series confirms that both Greef and Cara will factor into this season, with the pair eventually reuniting with Mando and the child further down the line. While fans wait for that, Weathers is teasing what fans can expect from his character in the upcoming episode, including a potential plot twist. Appearing on Breakfast Television Toronto to promote the arrival of The Mandalorian Season 2, the seasoned actor teases the overall story for the season, talking about what Din, Baby Yoda and Cara are up to in the new episodes. When it came to talking about his character, Weathers interestingly said that Greef is having fun doing what he does, and as always being duplicitous. Upon further pressing, he continued by revealing more about the character's upcoming arc. And then they quote exactly what Carl Weathers says, so I'll read it to you now. He states, "Not really, I personally like the fact that he doesn't divulge a lot about himself, because I think in some ways, the less you know, the more interested you are in knowing, and Greef plays things pretty close to the vest, so I think that we, in the episode I directed, we hint that there may be some ulterior motives in Greef's desires and what he's after, you know, his goals, and I personally think that's more than enough." Carl Weathers mentions the episode he's directing for The Mandalorian in the interview. At this point, it's still unknown which one in the next 7 outings. That said, the actor is one of the few new directors for the show, including Peyton Reed, Robert Rodriguez, and interestingly enough, creator Jon Favreau, who helmed the Mandalorian Season 2 premiere after sitting out on Season 1. Meanwhile, Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Rick Famuyiwa return after their stints behind the camera last year. Greef being duplicitous isn't exactly new. In The Mandalorian Season 1 penultimate episode titled Redemption, he was originally going to kill Din, grab Baby Yoda and offer it to the client. But after a near-death experience where the child healed him, he ultimately changed his mind and came clean to Din about what he was supposedly going to do. From there, Greef Karga was presented as an ally, helping Mando and Baby Yoda escape Navarro. While Din Djarin didn't learn about the villain's survival, Greef and Cara Dune may have since they stayed back in Navarro. Perhaps this could lead to Greef's potential betrayal. In any case, if the show won't reveal much of the character's backstory in the current year, there's always a Season 3 where they can fully flesh out his character arc. So now let us talk about this Bo-Katan rumour. Take this with a grain of salt. And as such, it's just a rumour which someone brought to my attention. And supposedly Bo-Katan will make her live-action appearance in Chapter 16. In other words, it will be during the finale. This is all the information we have, and as I've said a million times on my channel, it's rumoured that she will be played by Katie Sackhoff, who is confirmed to be in this season. That is all I have to say on the matter, and I won't speculate further. I'm just presenting the rumour as it is. I'm not giving my opinion. This isn't my own words. This is from Digital Spy. But what I will say is that we can speculate about how Bo-Katan can play into the season. So the main 2 plot points I've seen for Bo-Katan's return to Star Wars and in live action form is that she will try to get back the Darksaber because she's the one who had it and who Moff Gideon stole it off of. And secondly, she could also have vital information into Ahsoka's whereabouts. Inevitably, this will link the child and Mando to Ahsoka and help them find the enemy sorcerers, the Jedi. And with that said, let's move on to our next article. So this is one about an Easter egg that we saw in Chapter 9. and it concerns the prequels. So the article states, and this is from Games Radar, The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 1 has a prequel trilogy Easter egg you may have missed. The Star Wars prequels have undergone a bit of renaissance in recent years. Opinions have been swayed, and generally episodes 1 through 3 are now looked back on with something resembling fondness. So it stands to reason that The Mandalorian Season 2 would have a quick nod to the prequels. This seems in line with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's vision for Star Wars. The biggest Star Wars property in the galaxy right now includes a blink and you'll miss it link to a certain Anakin Skywalker and his history. Not only has Timothy Oliphant's Marshal snapped up Boba Fett's armor, but it appears that he has another relic on Tatooine. Anakin Skywalker's pod racer. Sure, it may not have the garish yellow paint job that Annie opted for in The Phantom Menace, but the design is practically identical. There are two options: either the Marshal has made a speeder out of the leftovers of the pod racer, or Anakin's pod racer, which was made of scraps, was created using the parts from two of these types of speeders, making this a nice little nod to Anakin's boy wonder abilities. That's not the only Easter egg that can be found in the Mandalorian Season 2 premiere either. One character has ties to Return of the Jedi, while the episode's closing shot is almost definitely an iconic Star Wars character waiting in the wings to return, Boba Fett. So I think this is a quaint little Easter egg that we do see on Tatooine, and inevitably they had to give us a little nod towards the Skywalkers in some sort of way, because Tatooine is where the Skywalker started. It's where Star Wars started back in 1977 with Mark Hamill's character Luke. Now, on the subject of this Games Radar article, I have to concur with them when they talk about Favreau and Filoni's vision for Star Wars. In my opinion, Chapter 9 was the perfect balance of fan service while also taking Star Wars in a new direction. We were taken back to Tatooine, but it still felt like an authentic Star Wars experience. Tatooine was renewed, and in a way it symbolizes the way that Favreau and Filoni have renewed the Star Wars franchise, and I really feel that The Mandalorian in a very strong way is uniting the fandom once more, and that is something that is much needed. I really hope the Easter eggs throughout the series are going to be awesome, but I hope they don't bombard us with them either, because in a way we need some new characters, some new space aliens, some new scenery, some new planets, you name it. But either way, I have full trust in those two and all the other directors who work on the show. It's phenomenal, and guys, we are just 4 days away from Chapter 10 dropping on Disney+, and I could not be more hyped. So I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.